Welcome back.
Thank you, Maria.
Congratulations on this. Tell us more about what you're doing for novared.
Well, novared is a very important company in Canada that is doing exploration for critical minerals in a new way. They're using AI to go out there and put data sets together to make sure that we're locating the kind of rare earth minerals that we need in order to secure America's future as well. We currently do bring in about 17% of our critical minerals and copper from Canada. We want to continue to build on that relationship to make sure we're doing business with those that are closer to home and that are friendly countries in North America.
Yeah, I mean, look, the need for critical minerals is not lost on anybody. We understand the fact that China does the extraction and then the refinement of these minerals, which are so needed because we're using those in the military.
Yeah, the vast majority of the refining gets done in China. And so we're dependent on some of those critical minerals in the United States. A lot of it comes out of Chile as well. And so we're going to continue to build on relationships to make sure that we're addressing that and bringing that refining capabilities back here at home with the resources that we need to build on some of the initiatives that President Trump has been so aggressive on. You know, he has been aggressive on making sure our supply chains are secured. We're not vulnerable to other countries who aren't friendly to us like China, and that we are standing on our own 2 feet when it comes to our critical infrastructure.
So I wonder if this whole sector is going to be part of a new deal that the president does with Canada. Right now, Jameson Greer was on with us just the other day, and I know that they're working on a bilateral with Mexico and another bilateral with Canada. So the critical mineral story part of it?
Yeah, that is correct. Absolutely. Those discussions are ongoing, and they're important to our future. As you see AI getting developed, copper and these critical minerals are necessary for the build out on data centers, for the transmission, for cooling resources. All the electrical grids are dependent on these minerals to make sure that we can utilize the assets that we need. And a lot of our defense systems are highly reliant on copper and these kinds of minerals to come into the United States. So the agreements we have with Canada and with Mexico will make us more secure with our neighbors instead of depending on those across the world.
Very good. And I saw the president with the Prime Minister of Canada there at the G7 this week, where they both are. Now, Kristi, when you transitioned out of the DHS role and into this new role, the Shield of Americas, it was a new initiative that the Trump administration created to advance national security in the entire Western Hemisphere. Tell us about that role and what you're hoping to accomplish there.
Yeah, in my conversations during that time with the president and with Secretary Rubio, it was about taking the knowledge that I had used at the Department of Homeland Security for the last 14 months and using it to help our neighbors in the Western Hemisphere. We have 13 countries right now that are signed up in an agreement on the Shield of Americas, and my advisory role is to work with them to build out border security, to deal with migration issues they may face so that we can stop mass migration before it impacts our southern border again, and to fight the cartels, to go out there and make their homes safer, and to make sure that we're fighting those narco terrorists that have impacted them and their families. But then also, Maria, a big part of this is bringing American industry and businesses to these shield countries. Instead of saying to them, don't do business with China, and then they have no other alternative, my job is to make sure we get American businesses down there to be those investors and those partners that these countries need to really help their economy and to help their families that live there.
And it was an important role. You did such a great job helping to secure the border. You were very visible out there as DHS secretary, ensuring that people understood the dangers of a wide open border. Tell us how that's going in terms of now working in a different role to really do similar things in terms of securing America.
Well, it's been interesting because a lot of these countries saw what we did in the United States. And because we told our story so well, we stopped a lot of the migration before it even got to our southern border during that time. Because we were enforcing the law and people knew that our border was closed, some of that migration stopped in these other countries from people that were infiltrating our country. Now they're dealing with some immigration issues. They want to have that same kind of stance and security for their people. And so having the ability to be a known entity to them and to work with them and tell them what President Trump has done and the changes that we enacted really is helpful for them to create more opportunities in their countries as well. So we've got great partners throughout SHIELD, and those that have suffered in the past from migration that has really hurt their families that live there, they're reliant on that partnership.
Well, I mean, it was important for the president to come up with another role for you to keep doing what you were doing in that regard, and we appreciate that. But Kristi, that was a tough couple of days there. That was a tough couple of weeks after that hearing in Congress, where you were on the hot seat answering questions. What do you want to say about that? Do you want to say anything about the president's management in terms of dealing